Welcome back guys to another video. I'm sure a lot of you will recognize this car that's next to me. And I know we said that this car was good and it was gonna get sold, but there's more wrong with it.
This car has been through so much. We bought it sight unseen, only to find out that the motor was completely blown due to apparent salt water damage.
And as a result of that, the motor went bang. So what did we do? We put a brand new one in with 70,000 kilometers, and although everything wasn't perfect to begin with, we got it all sorted and took it for its first drive. One of only a few before it all went wrong.
Alright guys, so as you can see, this car is back in here, and we really didn't expect it would be. But the issue with it is, I don't know if you remember, but in the series of rebuilding this, we had an engine light. And we thought it went away after we just drove it around a bit, gave it a bit of a Italian tune-up. But it did go away, and then it came back like 5 seconds later, after we stopped filming that video. So, we've done loads of investigation, took it to different shops.
We even put a thing in, the fuel level reader, because it wasn't reading fuel when we first got it done. We thought that was the cause.
Yeah, that wasn't the cause. Basically, yeah, we took it to AMG Centre in Perth. They gave us the final verdicts, basically, that it's either a timing chain or a cam adjuster. Now, they recommended us to do the timing chain first and then the cam adjuster. But we've decided to do the cam adjuster first because we actually have a cam adjuster on this original water damaged or whatever the hell happened to it.
Blown up engine, there's a chunk missing.
Blown up engine. The blown up engine that is originally out of this car. So, we are gonna grab the cam adjuster off that and put it in this. So we're gonna undo all the work we did, take everything off, and...
Let's start with the cam adjuster because the timing chain is really bad on these. It's like halfway through the engine.
The reason we're not doing the timing chain first, which is the cheaper option, is because the timing chain requires us to take off the whole front end of the engine. And we'd rather knock out the cam adjuster first, then go to the timing chain, if it actually is that. So, AMG Centre said that the timing chain could be stretched, and that's what's causing the engine code and the issue with the cams, right? But that doesn't make much sense to us, because if it's stretched, we should be getting a code on both cams.
But before we get into actually doing the work, I realized while editing the video that you're watching right now, that Jake and I did not exactly explain the issue that we have and why we believe that it is not the timing chain and it's actually just the cam adjuster. So allow me to explain using a diagram. Okay, so really quick. In the M177 V8, you have 4 cams, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Each side has 2 different cams, the intake cam and the exhaust cam. One is to time air being let in, one is to time air being let out. In this engine, the code that we got was specifically relating to this intake cam on the left. Okay, so let's say that the cam is normally supposed to sit at this position, at whatever degrees that cam is at. The code that we got is pretty much saying that instead of being at this angle, it's sitting down, way down here where it shouldn't be, meaning that pretty much the engine is not running as good as it should be. The name suggests that a cam adjuster should be able to adjust, and you're right. But the adjuster can only adjust within a certain range. The code that we got suggests that the cam adjuster was way out of that range that it should be in, meaning unfortunately that we have to dig deep into the engine, lock down the cams with these locks to change this cam adjuster. And really quick, I'd also like to explain why we think it isn't a timing chain. When a timing chain, which is the chain that goes around these cam adjusters, is stretched, it would usually mean that, well, a chain is stretched, so it has more distance to cover, meaning it would pull both of these cam adjusters down past their limits of where they're able to adjust. But when we scanned, obviously, as I said before, this is the only one that is out of alignment. This one is perfectly fine, meaning that there is really no way that the chain can be stretched, because if it was stretched, this thing would be way out of alignment and vice versa. You get the point. So in today's video, pretty much, we're going to be replacing both of these because why not? We have a 30,000 kilometer engine that was the one that blew up and they are perfectly fine on that thing. So yes, now that you understand, we can get back to the video.
So basically the cam adjuster is too far out of its limits, so we have to go in there manually and put a new adjuster on. So we are going to be taking everything off this blown up engine. We're going to get a good look inside and therefore put the new adjuster on that one, take that one apart, have some fun. So.
And we have a nice surprise for you guys that is arriving very soon that will, how do I put it? Not waste anything on this engine.
Exactly.
That's all we're getting.
This engine is going to be used for this little job we're doing and something else because we're going to basically, yeah, you'll see very, very soon.
All right, we're back into it, and now we're going to be tearing down this M177 engine. And you'll come to realize that these engines are just not fun to work on. Everything's behind something else, and there's a million bolts, and it's just not a fun time. First, we're pulling off this charge cooler, because that'll allow us to get to a lot more of the bolts and spaghetti. Now everything behind the charge cooler is much more accessible. The next part to come off is going to be that little coolant bottle, or at least I think that's what it's for. I can't remember exactly. That just pops off and then we gain access to the camshaft magnets, which we originally thought was the issue, and they just pop off.
Oh, they're just like a cap. So this was the magnetic thing we tried before.
So yeah, we attempted to originally fix this car by replacing this on that engine. It was definitely not that. These are just some...
How does it work again?
It's like a magnetic solenoid, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
it pulls these things in here.
Yeah, exactly.
These
so,
like pins.
Interesting, but that was not the fix. So we know it is the cam adjuster most likely. But,
Yay! And you have to go all the way into the engine.
yeah, guys, I mean...
And it's all been touched before, by the way, because look at... Everything here is marked.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Someone's done something to this. So this engine's a bit fishy. I don't know. We bought it knowing it had been in a car that had been in an accident, but
It's been through some investigation before.
It's very interesting. I don't know what's really going on here, but...
It was not the first time that car was under the knife, so...
Yep. Did we get scammed? Again?
Well, we did because this is blown up.
This thing is... Oh, yeah, no. Wait, that's right. We didn't buy this engine. We got it in that car. Anyway, this engine, yeah, has definitely had some work done before it blew up. Very strange.
Whether it was... I don't know if it was insurance or not. But as we go deeper, we'll figure more things out. All right, so guys, so leading back to our previous argument towards Mercedes with Jake's car with the threads, Mercedes designed their cars not to be worked on. Tell us how exactly you're supposed to get this off without taking this manifold off. What kind of design is this?
I guess you do have to take the manifold off, unless we can, do some botchy work.
I think we're going to try with a 10 mil, but...
Yeah, we're going to give it a go. We're going to try to do the least work that we can do.
Yeah, because this is, if you think about it, see how the manifold's so low? Imagine trying to do that in the car.
Hell no.
Not fun.
No. We don't believe in hard work.
We believe in work.
Smarter, not harder.
Yeah. Not work harder. Work harder, not smarter.
No, smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
Done. All right, we got it off.
So there's a hole behind here that is kind of etched into the manifold that allows you literally just to pull this out far enough to kind of rotate it and get it out. And you can use a 10 mil. You can use an 8 mil to basically just crack it loose, and then the rest you just got to do it tightly with your fingers, and thank God it comes off. So now it's time to get
this plate
off, which reveals the timing chains. So we can see this is our first look into the internals of a blown up engine.
Yep.
Exciting times.
We're cracking it open like you guys asked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here we go. Ready.
Crack it.
Oh, damn. So it's like silicone. There you go. Wow. Nothing on the plate.
That is clean. And there we go, guys. In there is the timing chain right there.
I mean, I can't really tell. That looks pretty normal.
And that right there is our cam adjuster. This is the thing we've been hunting, and we found it. Chain around it, Hard to tell if the chain's stretched obviously right now, but this is what we are going to be swapping onto that car, to that beautiful blue C63s. We found it.
I don't really see. I don't know what to look for. I don't know what's normal and what's not normal.
Same.
But, you know, it's looking pretty clean. So, this proves this did have 30,000 Ks on it.
It looks pretty nice in there.
Yeah. It got its oil changes on time, because wouldn't that normally just be stained?
Yeah, it's just clean.
Very clean.
Wow.
If anyone needs parts, hit us up.
Yeah.
Brand new. There you go.
Maybe not the crank or the block. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not
There's the block.
Yeah, definitely not the block or the crank. But I'll tell you what is looking beautiful. The rest of this engine. I don't think I've ever seen such a clean engine in my time working on cars. I think we're going to be okay with these new cam adjusters and this timing chain. It's all looking up from here. Now all that's left to do is all the stuff along the top. So we're going to be taking off the high pressure fuel pump, as well as all the fuel lines, the dipstick, the breathers for the PCV, the fuel rail, all of that stuff. And then we can unbolt the 5 million bolts that hold this rocker cover down, which will explain why. And then we should be able to have a good hot crack at getting these cam adjusters off.
You want to go under there, buddy? Oh, we're off now. Pick her up.
There we go. Everything is exposed, and now we can finally get to taking the cam adjusters off.
Also, for any people that want a bit of a fun fact for these engines, normally on engines you have a bearing of sorts. It's the same as the rod bearings. It's this U-shaped thing here, and normally on a normal car, you'll have a cap that goes over the cam like this, and it's all slotted in the engine. But on this on the M177, it actually, the rocker cover serves as a bearing of sorts. You can see in here the surface is very smooth. That allows for the gliding between the oil and the cam and stuff, which explains why on this valve cover there is so many bolts. It's so that it can be torqued down evenly, because obviously this is all under stress. You can see the friction points there from the way that this serves as a rod bearing. Very weird design by Merc, but it seems to work. So yes, cool. Interesting bit of knowledge for anyone that is interested. Yeah.
Alright guys, we've just been taking off a bunch of stuff. Took off the alternator, had to take off all the belts and stuff beforehand. We found the bolts to release the tension on that timing chain, and it is all the way under here, under the alternator. So we got to take the alternator off that car with the engine in. Oh my god, why couldn't it be this side? Because on this side, the bolt's right there to release the tension, right at the top. But here, on the side that we need to do, it's at the bottom.
And in all honesty, it actually wasn't too hard to get off, because this engine's out of the car. In the car, it's a much different story. But nevertheless, after taking out that bolt that tensions the chain, we actually ended up putting it back in, because we realized we can take the cam adjusters off, leaving the bolt in and using tension on the chain to take it off. Because as you all know, this engine is seized. So there's no reason to lock it all up with our fancy tools, and we'll leave that for the good engine.
Okay, Jake, what have we discovered?
Well, under the water pump is actually how you get the chain off. You don't have to take off the whole front end. You just take off the water pump and you can kind of slide the chain off. So, since it could be the chain or the adjuster, why not do both? We're going to do both the chain and the adjuster on that engine, so we know it's definitely going to work and it's going to be okay. We just got this chain off, so we know we can get that one off and get it back on.
And guess what we're going to do? We're going to use this chain.
We're going to use that chain.
Yeah, because the chain's not stretched.
Not stretched.
30,000 kilometer chain, yeah, so.
Why not?
But yes, good news, but also bad news, because I don't think any of us are looking forward to tearing into that.
No, hell no. But for the content and for selling this car so we can buy more cars.
Yeah, so leave in the comments what you think we should get in the future.
Yep.
Well, it's now time for the part we have all been dreading, doing all of that over again, and this time the challenge is with the engine in the car. It's going to be a journey, that's for sure. But before we get into it, I want to take a quick moment to thank each and every one of you for watching this far. It helps both Jake and I out a lot more than you think it does. But with that being said, if you could press the subscribe button, like the video, and leave your thoughts on how we've done in the comments below, we would really appreciate it. But that's enough said about that. Let's get back to the video.
Alright guys, so as you can see behind me, we have begun to start taking apart this beautiful blue car. We've taken off the bumper, taken off the top rail, taken off a few of the supporting brackets, and now we are getting into the main engine bit. And it hurts to do this because, as you have seen in our series, we've already rebuilt this thing, so we're pulling it apart again, but that's what you gotta do when you have an engine light. So, let me give you a look at what we have done so far. We have removed all of the wiring harnesses. We have taken off, we've drained all the coolant, as you can see down there. Definitely no spillage, completely clean, all good. Now, we've got loads of bolts here, as you saw previously with that engine over there. Thousands of bolts here. Taken it off everything, unplugged everything. We're moving the wiring harness out of the way. Basically, our goal right now is to create as much space as we can so we can get in there and change these cam adjusters and the timing belt, as you have seen. We've decided we're also doing that now. Now, we've only taken off the fan, so we don't have to take any of this off, and we think we have enough room. So we're pretty happy about that. Means we can leave the lights on, means we can leave everything else at the front on, keep the oil in the car. That's really what we were hoping for. That's the best case scenario. So now what we're doing is we're going to take off everything here, take off the charge cooler so we can get to all these bolts and get going. So it is now time to get on with that and pray that this fixes it.
I think we need more than a prayer, guys. This job is by far the biggest one we've ever done, but I think it'll be worth it to see this car back on the road for the final time once this is all done. Now, as for stripping the car, you don't need to watch us do all of that again because it's the exact same process as you just watched, just worse because the engine's in the car. However, now we know what to do and all of it is fairly straightforward. It's just time consuming.
There we go.
Play it off. That's why you should wear gloves, guys. So you don't...
Oh, okay, you're off.
The moment of truth. Wow.
See,
They look
so
pretty
much
clean.
different though, like these, where the rod bearings were. A bit more
Yeah.
scoring.
Rod bearings.
What does it look like?
That's what these are. Oh, not rod bearings,
Not
cam
rod bearings, cam bearings.
Clean,
Wow.
clean
Honestly, the
engine.
cams are pretty, they're similar to the other
Normally
ones.
it's supposed to be stained. 75,000 Ks, it's okay.
That's pretty good. They're not as good as the other ones, but they're not bad at all. They look completely normal to
No,
me.
that looks really good.
Wow. Well,
We've got a
This-
good batch of M177s
We do.
so far.
this is what we're after down here, this little thing, so.
Not much further to go before we slap all that in, and then we have a long way to go to put all this stuff back on. That's going to be another 15 hours of labour.
Yep. Euro cars, guys.
I know.
How it works. All right, guys, so now that everything is off on this engine, you can see your cams, you can see your adjusters. What we have to do is what, Christian? What do we have to do?
Time the car because we're putting a new timing chain on it. So you have to
And
make
the
sure
cam adjuster.
everything is locked, everything's in place, everything's where it should be, so that when you assemble it back, the car's not doing the, what's it called?
The hokey pokey.
Yeah, doing the hokey
We don't want the
pokey.
car to blow up basically when we start it up again. So that's why you gotta lock the timing, lock the crank, lock the cams, and make sure this thing doesn't go out of timing. So, like Christian said, it doesn't blow up. So,
Also because we're taking the cam adjusters off. That was the whole main issue. You
Yeah.
can't take them off without timing it and locking it all.
exactly, we did it on the other one, but that's because it didn't matter because there was a big hole in it. So, that's why.
As Jake mentioned, this is a very technical process, so I won't bore you guys with too much info on how it all works, but pretty much you need a special kit like this to lock everything in place because an engine is under lots of tension and compression, obviously because things go bang in it. It all has to be held together. Thank you to AliExpress because we actually got this kit off AliExpress. It pretty much has everything you need. I won't explain this in too much depth, but essentially these blue things, they hold things down like the cams. You have to lock it all in place so that, as Jake said, so your engine doesn't blow up. That's pretty much the gist of it. This is all stuff to just lock the engine down and get it to the point where it doesn't move. So before we can lock the crankshaft in place, we have to hold down the cams using our little red brackets from the kit. They pretty much just stop the cams from popping out accidentally. Once that's done, we can then rotate the engine 40 degrees from top dead center, which is then where that little pin I was talking about goes in, because this is when the engine's under the least amount of stress.
Alright, that hole is now open, so this should theoretically slide into the little hole. Yeah, here we go.
There you go.
There you go. That's holding the cam now. That's not going anywhere.
Let's hold the crank actually.
Crank, I mean, yeah. First step done. Next step is locking that with a thingy.
Not quite, but it's related to locking that thingy. First, we need to loosen the tension on the chain, so we can then lock down the cams. But there was a slight issue accessing that tensioner.
Alright guys, so this job is an absolute nightmare. What do you think? You don't like it, do you?
Mate, I want to meet the guy who designed this. I want to meet him.
It's
Knuckle sandwich.
Mate, I mean, who puts an ECU underslung there, above the alternator? You can't get to the tensioner because that's above both the alternator and the ECU. Then there's a bracket in the way. There's so much in the way on this car. It's, yeah. Give me a hybrid. No, I'm joking.
no, full electric at this point.
So yes, it was quite difficult to say the least, but we got it done. Now all we have to do is lock down the cams in their final position, and we can then get to taking off the adjusters themselves, which is the exact same process once again. So let's take a look at what this supposed damaged cam adjuster looks like, and the issue we've been chasing this entire time.
Alright guys, we're going to open this thing up. Let's see if we can see anything.
Now, I'll save you the time of trying to watch us discover what exactly is wrong with the cam adjuster, because truthfully, we aren't really sure what happened. The only thing that we have is that there's a little pin you see here, which is presumably what wore out over time, but we aren't even sure if that's the cause. So if you have any clue on how cam adjusters work or what could have worn out, leave your thoughts in the comments below, because we'd love to hear what your theories are. But anyway, let's get back to the stuff we do know, and that's installing all the new parts, because we know one thing's for certain: these cam adjusters need to be replaced.
Time to install the new chain.
So to put the new chain in, we're going to do everything the exact same, just in reverse. Unfortunately though, it proved to be quite fiddly to get that chain on, but eventually we got it to sit right. After that, we can then screw on our used brand new cam adjusters with only 30,000 kilometers on them. Then we can put the chain guard kit on, followed by the tensioner itself, and get everything under load again.
$13.2 Nm, that thing is torqued. Ain't going anywhere. Take that back. 45 degrees more. We're not giving up. Just at 13.2 foot-pounds. Ooh.
Talk to
New
spec.
adjusters, new chain on the car, on the M177. On that thing. Hypothetically, it's fixed now. Now's the worst part of it, and that's putting everything we've taken off and disassembled back together.
But none of it compares to that alternator and ECU down there.
I know.
That's the main part of it, but the rest shouldn't take too long.
I'm not happy about this part.
Hopefully it solves it.
Alright, so now we've taken off that little bit there. We're taking off these, take out the pin, then you turn it over 2 times apparently. And if everything lines up, we're golden. Pin is out, those are off, put them up here. Time to turn it over 2 times. Christian, you want to do the honors? It's right there.
Let me see that.
Well, there you go. Successfully have changed the cam adjuster and the timing chain. It's all in the right position. We didn't mess up the timing. God, that was definitely painful, but
Now the hard part begins.
yeah, honestly, that was the easy part. Now we have to rebuild all of this and get this car back to how I was looking before.
The top wasn't too bad. We got that disassembled in a day.
Yeah.
But that bottom part now adds another layer.
Well, let's hope this is the last time we have to do this to this car, and we can get it moved on.
So guys, it is now our third day at this. We've torn the engine down on the first day, timed it all up on the second day, and now it's time to rebuild this engine. We have to put the water pump on, the housing for the water pump, this front plate with the magnetic thingies that tap those pins on the cam adjusters, and then we can begin to put the rocker cover on, get all the fueling stuff back on, get all the fans, charge coolers, all that stuff, the wiring back on, and then we should be able to give it its first start and see if we actually fix the issue. Well, here we go people. It's finally time to start putting this car back together for the final time. As you would have seen in the last few clips, we were quite exhausted already at this point because a job like this takes a lot of mental strain to remember how and where things go back together. Because one mistake could cost us this entire build, because as we all know, these German brands are so temperamental. One mistake or missing bolt and it will never run the same again. But nevertheless, we must push on. So here's us getting the engine sealed and tightening everything to its specific spec. Then we can put the first bit of mechanical hardware on. Alright, really quick, we are done putting both covers on and the cam sensor things. Now we're going to put the injectors in because we don't want to drop anything down the hole. And I think we can do it because it won't need to come off again. So yes. Getting the injectors on proved to be quite difficult because of just how small Mercedes made this engine bay. And we also don't want to drop the pins on the bottom of the injectors down into the engine, because that would not be good and it would be a nightmare to get anything out of the engine after that point. And after the water pump turbine, which is actually plastic funny enough, we can then get onto the final piece that will seal this engine once and for all. Hopefully. Hopefully. Alright, now we're doing the water pump housing and the thermostat or whatever.
Alright guys, start of day 4 working on this thing and getting it back on the road after the little mishap we had. So, just a quick recap, what we did yesterday, rocker cover on, and all the accessories on top such as the fuel pump, the fuel lines, and the breather system. That is now all on. It was a big pain, but we did it through perseverance. Now, what we're doing right about now is doing these 2 charge coolers. This is a charge cooler. So basically, water comes through here through the turbos and gets water cooled. No, air comes through air comes from the turbos into these and gets water cooled, and that water gets cooled obviously by the two radiators down the bottom. The 2 auxiliary radiators on each side. That's how the system works really, because you can have air to air intercoolers, you can have water to air systems. This one uses a water to air. So we got 2. Yes, that replaces the intercooler. So we got 2 charge coolers that basically sit kind of in front of the engine and make it really difficult to access anything, because that's just how Mercedes is. So we're going to put them on.
Now guys, if I'm being honest, we really didn't film a lot of the car going back together. There was a multitude of reasons for this, but one of them was that I accidentally dropped the camera off the stand and broke it. So there isn't a whole lot of footage of the car going back together, which is completely my bad. But aside from my huge mistake, we managed to film just a little bit of the intakes going back together, as well as the front rad mount. But at least it saves you guys the time of having to watch us put everything back on, and we can get straight into the next part. Alright guys, everything is now back together, and we have we have created a vacuum in the cooling system. So we're going to leave it for a couple minutes now. And if this gauge stays exactly where it is, then we did a good job putting everything back together. And as it turned out, we had no leaks. So I think it's time for the first start since this all began.
All right, everyone. So this is the huge moment to see if we fix this car after all this effort. Because in the start, we didn't 100% know that this would definitely fix it.
This video is nothing compared to the amount of hours put in. This has probably been an over 30-hour job.
Yep. And if this light's still there, it was all for nothing. So
here we go. Ignition on.
Hold on. Let me clear the dome. Yeah, put ignition on. Press it once more. Don't start. There you go.
She's awake.
It's just gonna clear some codes, guys.
Wait, she's a cold one. 17 degrees.
It's usually an engine gets, Christian, when it hasn't been turned on for
You don't see that
a couple
in winter.
months.
I'm hearing slushing.
Yeah.
So that thing must be on.
And by thing, I meant electronic water pump because these cars need multiple apparently. Anyway, here you can see us clearing the codes on the car, which essentially will get rid of all the previous errors and give us a fresh clean slate to see what is actually wrong with it, if there is anything, which we hope not.
Camshaft and stuff. So if they're all the same, it's good. These are our camshaft positioning. Fire it up. See if we've done everything right.
We ready?
I'm scared.
Everyone ready?
Woo. Let's do it.
Ooh.
3, 2, 1, go.
There we go. Let's see what we got here.
Please.
Oh, there we go. Now let's drop the revs. Now they're no longer red.
Engine went off.
Check engines off again. No codes, apparently. We might have fixed it.
I hope so, man. I really
Oh
hope
man,
so.
the true way to know is if we drive the car, but I...
Good man.
It's done?
Record that, baby.
No
Get it
fault
on cam!
codes. There we go.
Wait, no gimbal protection.
No fault codes, people.
No
Oh,
fault
wait.
codes, guys. You see that?
My mic was under me, but
No fault codes. We did it. It's fixed. The work wasn't for nothing. This car's not getting rammed into a wall. We're not using black tape.
30 hours
Wait,
of labour. 30 hours of labour.
30 hours of labour. No black tape. That engine light is straight up gone. Nothing on that. Come on. Take it away.
Alright guys, so as you saw, this runs perfectly fine now. We fixed a problem after lots and lots of hours, tearing it down, putting it back together. We pretty much have this entire front end together now. We haven't filmed a lot of it going back together because you understand how it all works. It's
Boring stuff.
Yeah, everything you watched us take off is exactly what we put back on, so yeah, we won't waste your time with that. Now it's going to be time for what?
We're gonna put the bumper on, and then we're gonna take her for a spin, make sure she's 100% all good, and then it's time for one of you or anyone
To win this car.
It's time for one of you or anyone to buy this car because we're putting it up for sale, trying to make some money off this thing, and buy our next car, which is probably gonna be a Ferrari Performante. Basically, yeah, we want to sell this and then get moving on to our next project. So let's get this bumper on, get things on the roll.
Well, there we have it, guys. The biggest job we have ever done, and yet somehow most of it went pretty damn smooth. Up to this point, we have not got a check engine light. When we ran it up to temp, checked all of the signs, checked the cam adjusters, they were all within their limits. But the next thing obviously is going to be to take it for its first drive so we can get this car under load and everything can be stressed out a little bit, because just revving the car, it's not under any stress, it's just in neutral. So it's definitely a good thing to have it moving under its own weight. As for the bumper though, it's actually a pretty simple install on these cars. It's a couple clips on either side and you have your car back together.
Working. He's on his way.
All right, guys, we've got the bumper on, as you can see. Good stuff. Good job, Christian. And now we're filling up with coolant, which you have to do 50 million times on this car because they designed a terrible system where you can't really vacuum fill it. Or you probably can, but we don't know how to because we just
There's
don't.
that many air pockets. Now, I think we're going to take it for its first drive since this issue with the skid pan off so that we can check for coolant leaks. Because all we've done up to this point is run it for a little bit, give it a couple revs and then leave it.
Yeah.
So we're going to take it for its first proper drive, come back, hopefully there's no leaks, and then we can put the under trays on.
And then this car is ready to go.
Yeah, happy day.
Alright guys, part 2 of the first drive of this car.
Part 2. Shit's smooth now.
Yeah, that's a lot smoother than before.
Much different.
Yeah.
Before it was much jumpy between gears.
Yeah,
because
way more jumpy than that. That's a lot better.
I think we fixed the issue, but
It feels like we have at this point.
I'm very happy.
It's obviously cold. It's cold still, guys, so can't really test it. Because last time it came up under acceleration, the engine light.
No, this is insane now.
What?
It's insane now how smooth it is.
Really?
It just shifted just then. You didn't even feel it.
Oh, damn.
And we thought before it was the transmission that was making it jumpy.
No, this seems like it's gotta be that goddamn engine light, that goddamn intake cam.
Yep.
Oh, that's how it's going.
Yeah, that's how it should feel.
That sound doesn't get old.
It doesn't. You're right. It's still not up to temp. I don't know. Do we take a risk by going on that road? Garling?
Check ways. There's usually cops on that road. Guys, there's always cops on this road right near our workshop, so...
Everything we're doing is currently 100% legal? And
Yeah, 100%. We are not driving this car unlicensed.
Don't ever
Yeah,
do
there's
that.
apparently no cops on this road according to Waze.
Alright guys, I'll see you guys next week and I'm out of jail.
We going to jail.
It's like...
That was jumpy, wasn't it? You should. So nice.
It drives so much better, guys. Like,
Yeah, I can feel it from the passenger seat.
this is what it was meant to do. Oh my god. Bit of a jump. You know, different car, guys. I think we fixed the issue. This is
100%.
exactly how a C63 is supposed to feel, not how it was before. So, mission success.
I think so. I think we've definitely finally fixed this car. After all the deliberations and problems and scams and everything, this car's done.
All that. So that's going to be the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for following along in this series. And like, subscribe, comment, and we'll